The National Catholic Broadcasting Council presents Let Us Reflect Together. 40 Days of Lent Retreat, From the Cross to Hope. Day 11, Stories from the Church on the Street, Searching for Belonging, with Deacon Robert Kinghorn.
During Lent, we hear of the temptations of Jesus in the desert. The devil tempted him with the false happiness of security, power and fame. Such attractions are always present in our lives, especially I think when we're going through the times of darkness and isolation. Late one evening, I received a call from a friend. She asked me to meet with a relative of hers who was homeless on the streets of Toronto and caught up in the local drug scene. I'll call him Sam, which is not his real name, of course. This is his story of temptations to false happiness, power and fame, and he has allowed me to share it with you. Little did I know that meeting him would take me back into 30 years ago, into the heady days of rock and roll in the 1980s and the 1990s. Sam was one of many teenagers in the 1980s and 1990s who picked up a guitar and dreamed of becoming a star. The difference was that for him, it became a reality. With his band, he became a regular on television and on the local rock scene. They played their own compositions, made a name for themselves, and soon signed a record deal. Drugs, however, were rampant, and the good life that was promised quickly evaporated. It came with this alter ego, depression, and suicidal thoughts. At age 17, Sam decided to move out of his home and go on the road with his band. Living in a shelter at night, it was not the dream he had imagined. However, he was soon rubbing shoulders with some of the elite of the American music scene, which more than compensated for the reality of his nighttime sleeping quarters. Besides, drugs were freely available, and that was becoming a growing priority in his life. Thinking back on these days, Sam shared the following with me. Some of the famous people we performed with tried to help me out of my addiction, but it had taken hold of me. To be honest, although I had lost a lot, I had also learned a lot. Touring and performing were beginning to take their toll on me, and after an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, where I described the drug scene in all of its brutal reality, I decided to give it up. Sam told me how he decided to move back to Toronto. He got married, had children, but his demons followed him. When I met with him, Sam told me how he had come to realize that it takes an army of people to help an addict. There's no magic pill. However, with all that he had learned, he discovered a new passion. Sam wanted to use his experience to help others. He shared the following with me on the streets that night. I wanted to learn as much as possible about this deadly enemy that haunted me, so that I could prevent it from killing the most vulnerable. I was determined that the way to victory was to discover its weakness. Sam went on to get a master's degree in social work and a degree in pharmacology. He wanted to become the best counselor possible. As he continued sharing, he told me, all this time, while it appeared I had it all together, I was controlled by my personal addictions. I'd been trying to reconnect with my family, but my suicidal thoughts and sleeping rough on the streets created burdens that were unfair to ask them to carry. A few weeks later, I received a call from my friend to tell me that Sam had checked himself into a hospital known for its work with addicts. It's a one-stop centre where addicts can be hospitalised, participate in support groups, and receive medication to assist with withdrawal. Sam's background in addictions and his recent experience with street drugs meant that he could also assist the hospital staff during their rounds. Turning his back on the temptations of his time in the desert, he realised he also had a passion to reach out to the youth of our city to share his experiences. Soon after his recovery, he joined me to speak with students and teachers at a local high school. The note he received after his talk said it all. Thank you for being so honest, kind and inspiring. Please come back to see us. Father Greg Boyle, who works with gang members and drug addicts in Los Angeles, once said, "We have to find our heart. It is easily found when it is breaking. This is how the world can change. Love is the answer, but community is a context, and tenderness is a methodology." Overcoming temptations often requires waiting patiently for that one person who will walk with us into a new future. Each of us can be that person for others.
Join us tomorrow for Day 12, Stories from the Church on the Street, Light in Darkness, with Deacon Robert Kinghorn. For more information, please email us at info@ncbc.ca, visit our website at dailytvmass.com, or call our office toll-free at 1-888-383-6277. For information on how to order Deacon Robert's latest book, The Church on the Street, Ministry of Presence, email us at info@ncbc.ca.